What's up, guys? Cosmic Contender here for another video. This will be what we call an interaction component. It's going to be using what's we call composition. So just like in Godot, when we drag in an area 2D or a character body 2D, these components allow us to create robust and very usable game objects or game scenes and be able to be reusable. And so that's going to be the whole purpose of this interaction area, is to be able to be reusable throughout your whole entire game, and even other games you can just pull this code and reuse it. As always, we need to start a new scene. So it's be a 2D scene, and I'm just going to call this scene world. And we're going to go in here and we're going to add a character body 2D. This will be our player, and I'm just going to call it cursor area, and we will add a script, and it will follow us around, our cursor around, just for the case of this video. However you want your player to move is how you would use this. But I'm just going to do global position is equal to get global mouse position. Go ahead and save our world, save our area, and we want to go just so we can keep track of where our player is. We're going to add a sprite 2D to the child and drag in our SVG, and we want to make this SVG just do like 0.2, and it will also need a collision shape 2D. A collision shape 2D. We'll do a circle, and let's make sure it's big enough. There you go. Save that. This doesn't matter too much. Lastly, on our character body, we want to go to our collision. And we want to stay on layer 1, but get rid of the mask. Go ahead and save that. All right, now let's create a new scene. This scene will be a area 2D, and this area 2D will be our interaction area. Okay, add a script, and we want to add a class name. Call it interaction area. Double space. All right. Save that, interaction area. All right. Then we want to add an export to this, and will be the type of action we want to take. So I'm just going to call it action, and we're going to go equals. A colon equals, since it's always going to be a string. And we want to do interact. Okay, that'll be our default for that. And then var, we want to create what we're going to call is interact action. And we can go and make it a callable, and it'll be a function. And by default, it will do nothing. All right, so we're going to save it from there. And then we need to go to our new scene, and it'll be a node 2D, but not a child. I apologize. Get rid of this. Okay, we're going to go to our new scene. Okay, well, I'm having technical difficulties. All right, new scene. And this will be our singleton, where we're going to call interaction manager. Okay, save that, interaction manager. We're also going to add a label, if it lets me type, a label. And so we have the label. We want to add a script. It'll be an interaction manager. We're going to control drag this in, and that'll give us our on ready for that. And we need to do a couple other things to this as well before we get any further. So another on ready we want is to get our player. So on the export, on ready. Our player is equal to get tree dot get first node and group, and it will be a type of player. Okay. One thing I did not do for our cursor is add it to that group, and we want to do player add. Save that. All right. So we have our interaction area. Save that scene. Save our manager. Now, before I forget, I want to go in here, and in our input, we want to do interaction or interact for a action, We'll do it on EE, hit OK, save that. All right, and we need to go back to our project settings, and lastly, auto load, and we want to select the scene, not the script, but the scene of the interaction manager. Add this in, and it will auto load into our scene by default. And let's keep on coding. So we want to have a base text. I'm going to just do a const for the case of this video, but if you're doing anything like localization or allowing people to change their hotkeys, this will not work as a default. We're making E as the default key to interact. So doing it like this is not a good choice, but just for the sake of this video, we're going to do it like this. All right, so var active areas is our next step. And so this will keep track of the areas that this manager wants to know about and what the player is walking into, these interactive areas. And then we want to be able to tell if we can interact, if we are currently in a state of non-interaction, or if we think that's how you spell interact. I might be spelling this totally wrong. We want to set this to true by default. And then add a function, add area. It'll be an area, and it'll be a type of interaction area. And then active areas dot push back area. Save that. And then this one is going to be a little bit more difficult. It'll be remove area and the same argument, interactive area. And we want to get the index of where this area is. And if active areas dot find, and this will find the index for us, area, if index is not equal to -1, active areas dot remove at index. All right, we have an error going on. Oh, no, we don't. It just was a byproduct, it looks like. All right, now we want to get a process function going. Be checking if there is anything in our active areas. So active areas dot size is greater than 0, and we're able to interact and interact. Then we want to do active areas dot sort custom, and we want our custom to sort by closest, whatever's closest to the player. Where I'm not able to spell closest. Closest. Yeah, that's correct. And we want to do func closest, and it will take an area 1 and an area 2. And this is to be able to compare our areas. And we want 2 variables, area 1 distance to player, and that will be player global position distance to area 1 dot global position. Now we can copy this whole line of code, do it for our next line, and I'm just going to hit Control D. Now I'll select the one here and the one here, and we'll do area 2. Save that, and that fixes our issue there. And then we just want to return, if I can type, return area 1 distance to player is greater than area 2 distance player. And this determines the order in which this will be sorted, and whichever is closest will be at the top, or at index 0. Next, we want to keep track of our label. So label text will equal to our base text plus active areas in the first index dot action. I think I would call it action. Let's double check. Yep, action. And we will go label global position is equal to active areas 0 global position, and we want our label global position, and we're going to mess with our y now. So this gets it set to the center of the area, and now we want the label to move a little bit. And let's just do an arbitrary number like 48 in this case. If you were using it in your game, you might want to make it so the active area, like the interactive area, has a position that you can move, so you can customize on each of your interactive areas. All right, then label the global position.x minus equals, and this will take the label dot size x is greater than 2, and then we'll do label dot show, and then else, oh, I need the colon, label dot hide. We are almost done. So we added also that input event, and so we need to check that input event, and if event dot is action pressed interact and can interact if active areas dot size is greater than 0, and we want to set can interact equal to false. We want to get our label and hide it, and then await our callback function on the area that we want. This is our first. Interact.call, and lastly, can interact is equal to true. All right, let's see if we have any errors. No, we don't have that. Save it, and we should be almost ready to go. All right, so in our world scene, let's add a sprite 2D. Let's call it test. And we want to click on this instantiate child scene. We want interactive area. We want to add a collision shape 2D. We go here. We also need to drag our SVG. We want to move our SVG to the center of the screen. And then lastly, add our shape to our shape 2D, which I'll use a circle again in this instance. Like this, save that. And as you see, we can change this interact to test. Okay? And then on our character, we can go to test, create, and in our test code, we can interact with our interactive area. So on ready, our interact, this is actually an easier way to do it. I always forget. So you control click drag into the editor, and that will drag it in. And we can do func ready interactive area dot interact. So I call it interact action. So we might need to fix some code real quick. Callable, and then on self, comma, and we want a function, and this function will be, let's just call it test interact. And we can copy this, and we're going to do func let's interact, and for now I'm going to hit pass because I think I need to fix my interactive code, Yeah, so it's not interact, it's interact on our area, interact action. Okay, and we need to fix this code too. So interact action, and then we want to connect on our interaction area our signals, body entered and body exited. And since we've added our interaction manager to our code, we can add an area. We're going to do our self, and we can remove our self interaction area dot remove. Oh, that's area. I apologize. That's interaction manager. Yep. Area, and again self. Save that. And that should add us. Let's verify one last thing on our go to our collision, and you want it to have a mask of 1. All right. Now we should. Oh, we need one last thing on our test code. And we'll just do print test. All right. And let's run our current scene. Nope, we're not seeing it pop up. So what is going wrong here? All right, so I figured out the issue. The issue was my label. I needed to go and add on the interaction manager our label and add it to an index, and you can create it to whatever. I just added 20, you do 30, whatever you like. You can run your scene and you'll see it now, and if you hit E, you should see it that your code runs, the interaction. And we can do a lot of things to this code in our test. We can also do await it tree create timer timeout, and we want to like say 2 seconds to our timer. And if we run this now and we hit E, we're not going to see immediately, but it will print after 2 seconds. And so this is why the interaction of creating a different callable for our interactive area allows for whatever's consuming it to have its own function associated to that callable interaction. And you can do so many things like open up different shops, be able to check a player's stats, lots of different things with this interaction. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm working on a C# version of this. And again, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment of what you want to learn. Thank you so much.